Sue Kerr on Burgh Vivant tonight. It's great to have you here.
I'm so excited.
You are the lady behind Pittsburgh Lesbian
Who
Correspondents.
are you calling a lady?
Oh, what is
Is
your...
that a line?
No, what is your preferred
No, I'm
title
kidding.
there?
I'm kidding. Isn't that a joke from someone that says that all
Who
the
are you
time?
calling a lady?
Who are you calling a lady?
A woman, dame, gal.
Dame. I like that.
There we go.
I'm the dame.
Dom.
Oh,
Grand
yeah.
Dom.
Yes, that could work.
And founder of the Amplify project,
Yes.
which we will talk about today.
Yes.
But you're very well known in Pittsburgh as one of the Pittsburgh Lesbian Correspondents, which is your blog.
Who are you
very
saying
popular.
one of?
It sounds like it's an army.
It's an army, but I am the Pittsburgh Lesbian Correspondent, of course.
How did that begin? What inspired you to take up that role?
Well, actually, the name came from a local talk show host, a different show. He was a radio host, and he wanted me to be on his program, and we just talked about LGBT issues. And he came up with the term my lesbian correspondent. So when I decided to start the blog, which was just kind of an impulse over the holidays, I thought that name sounded great. And I then got sort of stuck with it as a brand, and I'm in my 13th year of blogging now. So.
Wow. That seems to be 13 years ago when we didn't even have the internet.
Yeah, I know, exactly. There was no Facebook. There was no
that's right.
Twitter.
That's
right.
right.
You know, it was just me on my blog, and we had a bunch of local bloggers talking to each other. That's mostly what we did, is link to each other's posts and, read each other's stuff. It was kind of like workshopping rather than reaching the broader audience that we have now.
So the digital world around you has changed in 13 years.
Yes.
How has the voice of Pittsburgh Lesbian Correspondents changed in 13 years?
Great question. Well, when I started, I felt this imperative need to write about everything LGBTQ. And I wrote every single day, and it was all very intense and lots of political stuff. And over the years, I've mellowed a bit. There are some who would challenge that idea, but now I write about things that matter to me, that are priorities, and I let things go. I don't feel that I have to hit every topic. I don't go to every event. It's more about, my life is more mellow, so that's reflected in the blog. And I work on the Amplify project more now, so I put energy into that.
So describe to us a bit, what is the Amplify project?
The Amplify project is a storytelling blog archive that is hosted on my particular blog. We use a question and answer format to interview LGBTQ people who have ties to Western Pennsylvania, like yourself. And I publish them in unedited form. No, I don't do any spell check, nothing like that. So it really is the voice of people in the community. And in the past 2 years, we've collected and published 210 Q&As, which is a pretty sizable number of stories to have. And we have people from almost every county. We're missing a few in the 26 counties of Western Pennsylvania. We have a lot of voices that, because we use a blog format, we have a lot of voices that wouldn't normally be able to participate, so people can be anonymous in this project or use a pseudonym or something like that. And you can't do that with video or television or that sort of thing.
So what is the ultimate purpose of that then? Is it to just show a cross-section of lifestyle in these counties, or?
Yes, one reason is to say this kind of, we're here, we're queer, and we're clearly saying this and claiming our ground for future purposes. The other is to provide opportunities for people who feel isolated to get connected. So you're in Jefferson County and you don't know any other gay people, and you read about someone in Greene County who has a similar life. That's important.
Well, yeah, we forget about this living in a city
where
we're surrounded by so much cultural diversity, but yet we forget, not even half an hour from here, there are some towns and things where somebody may never even met a gay person before.
And and that's true, is that, a lot of people also don't want to live in Pittsburgh. And, there are people who prefer small towns. And even though they're LGBTQ, they're not looking for all of this to be out there. They just want to live in safety. So they'd like to not worry about losing their job and still live in a small town and come to Pittsburgh when they want to.
Yeah. What's maybe one of the most surprising things you learned from observing this Amplify project, maybe in a story that somebody had to tell or something about their lifestyle from a certain region? Has there anything that's come out of that that's really surprised you or shocked you?
One thing that's really caught my attention has been how many people who are bisexual that are closeted. And in Pittsburgh even, we don't have any bisexual organizations, and we don't have a lot of openly bisexual people in leadership roles or visible roles. And I would say at least 30% of my contributors are bisexual or pansexual, and many of them are anonymous. I mean, I know who they are, but we don't publish their name.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of a tricky thing to define. And I think that's maybe what the problem is. We're all so hung up on labels and definitions and things like that. But I guess the way I look at it, somebody would be bi if they define themselves that way. Is that a fair way to look at it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like anything else. If someone chooses that term, that's what we say. Or come to the Amplify project at pghlesbian.com, and you'll be able to probably find someone there who's going to talk about it.
And you can participate in it as
Absolutely.
well, right? And
Yes.
so the directions are there, how you can
Yes, we have a form. You just click and
tell your story. And again, all of these interviews, for lack of a better term, that you've done with Amplify will reside on that archive there. So hey, Pride Weekend is coming up here in Pittsburgh, or Pride Weekends. Is it 2 weekends now?
I think it's just Pride Month.
Okay.
Yeah.
How will you be celebrating Pride Month?
Oh, well, I'm going to be at the Most Wanted Fine Art Gallery on Saturday as part of the Smoke and Mirrors Art Out Loud crawl, sponsored by the GLCC, and we're taking our art car down. I have a 2000 Honda CRV that's been painted up to match the Amplify project, and we're going to put it in the street, and they're going to repaint it.
Wow, and this is your car.
It's my car.
That is
Yes.
dedication to your project,
Yes,
to
yes.
let that happen to your
Yes.
car.
It's a work of art, and it's wonderful, and it's a lot of fun to drive.
Wow.
One of the windows isn't working now, so that's a problem, but it is 17 years old, so that's okay.
Well, that's a good way to maybe give a 17-year-old car a second life.
Exactly. It's covered in pink triangles and a big pink cat. We're going to put paw prints on the hood, and the cat is just a thing. It's just to make it interesting, and the key is the word Amplify and the hashtags on the side, and we want people to look it up. And so that's where I'll be Saturday. And Sunday I'll be downtown at the People's Pride March, and then I will be at the Pride on the Square down at Market Square. That's sponsored by the Mayor's LGBTQ Advisory Committee. And then Sunday at about 6 o'clock I plan to go home and sleep for a couple days.